Another interesting story that I love that I saw. I'll stay in the NFL. This is another interesting story as well. This is a guy who I wanted to have be in Dallas. Sean Payton is the head coach of the Denver Broncos. And for all intents and purposes, like Sean Payton on the surface looks like a nice guy. Sean Payton looks like a guy who's kind of like calm, cool, and just collective and not really. But Sean Payton is one of those disciples of Bill Parcells. He's a Bill Parcells disciple. See, Bill was more out in the open with his and kind of just real, just in your face. You knew what you was going to get with Bill. Bill gave off the tuna, the smug, the scowl. You didn't really fool around with Bill. Sean doesn't quite give that off. He's more laid back, looks more softer, gentler. Gentler. But at the core, Sean Payton, that's a mean dude. He's a football dude. And Sean Payton was hired to come in to be the Broncos' new head football coach. He's had some things that he said already about Nathaniel Hackett over in the Jets, and they took some dislike to that. Aaron Rodgers and company. Well, Sean Payton's at it again. A story has come out. Seth Wickersham had a story come out, and it was an opportunity to kind of showcase a little bit of what Sean Payton is. Spent time with Sean Payton this offseason. And he said one of the things that Sean Payton was brought in to do for this organization was to revamp, to recharge, to reconfigure, to reboot Mr. Unlimited. Sierra baby daddy. Sierra husband. Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson, when he was signed over from the Seattle Seahawks, $240 million, $45 million, it was something that's going to change the culture. And boy, did it not. Russell Wilson had historic lows last year offensively as a quarterback all across the board. Career lows. They fired their head coach. They brought in Sean Payton to come in to try to help this. And we all know that Russell Wilson presents this figure. I don't know if it's real, it's fake. I don't know Russell personally. I don't. I know he's a good dad. On the surface, what I see. I know he's a good husband on the surface, what I see. But there were talks from teammates, notable teammates who were with him in Seattle. A lot of those guys from the Legion of Boom. And talked about that Russell Wilson kind of was a little bit of a fake. Kind of was like, yeah, we support Russ because we are his teammates and we don't throw nobody under the bus. But he wasn't the best kind of like, he wasn't one of us. He seemed a little bit different. I guess he was unlimited. But that thing began to sour in Seattle. They had their run, 2 Super Bowl appearances, 1 Super Bowl win. He ships off to Denver, and it just didn't work out. And Russ comes off as this guy, like you see him in the pregame, and he's like going through pregame. He's not playing, but he's going to go through the pregame. He's doing other motions. And he's like faking a huddle, like getting down on one. And it's like, come on, stop. And one of the things that Sean Payton first did when he came in, he said, Russell had his own office in the complex. He said, that's done. He said, you will watch film and meet with everybody else meets at. Either in the quarterback room or in the offensive room. You having your own personal office, dead that. No. You want to watch film? You'll watch it on the iPad at your house, or you'll watch it inside of the meeting room, offensive, or the quarterback room. You having your own deal, I don't give a darn who you are. Not under my watch. And so Seth Wickersham spends this time with Sean Payton this offseason, and one of the things that Sean Payton, in his report, he talked about, he didn't mince any words when it came to helping change the culture in Denver, starting with the quarterback, Russell Wilson. He said one of the first conversations that Sean Payton had with Russell Wilson was, is that he told Russell that to salvage your career, you need to focus less on Russ Inc. Focus less on Mr. Unlimited Inc., the brand. He said, will you stop effing? I'm saying effing. He didn't use the word effing. Will you stop effing kissing all the babies? He said, you're not running for public office. I love it. I'm all for brand representation. I'm all for sell your brand, be your brand, work your brand. I'm all for that. But I'm also for you being a football player. Because Russell Wilson holds the livelihood in his hands, the livelihood of a lot of other players. Receivers, running back, offensive linemen. How you play will be determined how other people get paid. So I get it. Sean Payton's like, bro, all the other nonsense. I get you got your Subway commercials. I get you got your all this other stuff. But stop trying to be this political figure. Now, do you tell a guy how to run his life? Sean Payton is a football dude. He comes from that pedigree, and he's like, in order for me to be successful, for the team to be successful, I need you to be locked in on football. And maybe that's what Russ needs. Maybe Russ got too involved in all of the Russell Inc. stuff. And that can happen even to the veteran guys. You get so involved, your wife is Sierra, and a lot of times the people that are coming around you understand that, hey, I'm a businessman. I'm not a businessman. And Russ Inc. is a businessman. But what makes that business profitable and marketable and want to be received from that position is winning. You win as a quarterback in the National Football League, write your check. You'll be in all the commercials. You'll be in all of everything. If you are the franchise quarterback of an organization and you're winning, write the check. And I think that's what Sean Payton is trying to get him back to and saying, listen, all that's going to come. But if we don't get this football part right, if we don't get this thing that where we're now contenders, where we're being talked about now as Super Bowl contenders and division contenders and playoff contenders, if that part doesn't come together, other stuff matters none. But good luck with telling Russ that. $245 million, it's a lot of bread. He's done it his way for a while. It's worked in some places. Whether you believe it was him or the Legion of Boom or Pete Carroll, this is going to be a match of the wills. Both of these guys have won a Super Bowl their way. Their way. Sean has done it his way in New Orleans. Russell did it his way in Seattle. And they both won. So now it's going to come together and figure out how are we going to coexist together to build something that's profitable on the football field and off. Because the same thing applies. Quarterback, head coach. We win, we both write our checks. We lose, we both have to find new addresses. That's the business that we live in. The national football, professional sports in general, it's a performance-based league. You win, you put numbers, they write the check. You lose, you don't put up good numbers, you find a new address. That's how it works. The good ones are good for a long time. The ones that aren't, again, they get moved around and things look differently.